you see, they've got a neck on the floor. He's got his hand on her neck.
Patrzcie, co się dzieje, patrzcie, co się dzieje. Uważaj.
He's straight out of Wales with the wind in his sails. He's tipping the scales, Silurian trails, revealing their names while he's lifting their veils. Public assails, no one exhales. Won't read in the mail, it's not printed in braille. No bonus for sales, the light will prevail. He's telling the tale while he's hot on the trail. Whole nother scale, he's hammering the nail. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
Check the kids out.
Step back, please, don't be arrested. Step back, press, don't even pick on me. Are you watching this? The press aren't allowed to film.
Injustice is served, collar crime is submerged. Don't be absurd, your vision is blurred. He's seen it occur, still right there on the curb. His iPhone record, he's filming the herd. BLM thugs act like cons high on drugs. They wrecking the place, they're smashing the face. He's in with the thick, in with hammers and sticks. Exposing the truth, he's showing the proof. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
You just don't want to see it there. You just don't want to see the violence. You don't want to see the violence on some of those people. 3 people on a woman.
Support for the vets, pray unless we forget the pain he besets and the truth he projects. He's a victim of threats, but he never regrets. Live stream the upsets, no printing gazettes. He's taken the test, got the pedo's address. No south, east or west, he streams the protest. No news is suppressed, the whole truth is expressed. Twin standard he tests, he's facing arrest. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
There's 4, 5 or 1. There's 2 on a girl. They pinned her to the floor. This one's getting a bully boy tactics. That's from the TSG probably. Sergeant, yeah.
Evening all. Welcome to Real News Live News. Quite a packed show tonight. I'm just going to try and fit it all in within an hour. I've got 2 guests on. First of all, I've got Lucia on. She'll be coming on from PCP Wales. Let me have a quick look at the comments. If you could all please share, you know my problem. Lower feeds. It is affecting me, but give it another, come to September, I'll be getting rid of all my accounts and I will be just putting one up, will all be, that's it. I won't be even keeping my my big one, Philip Watkins, because it's just too many blinking, lower feeds and everything else that goes along with it, bans every now and then. I'm not even going to put up any more memes either, folks. That's a definite, because that's what's getting me banned, is my memes. It's not my lives, it's my memes. So that's what I'll be doing, folks, because I've got to keep the platform free for me to do lives, folks. Let's have a quick look. Right, Nancy, how are you doing? Tanya, evening. We will be talking about, obviously, RSE. Evening, Welsh Blonde. Lucia is messaging. Mems, ha, ha. Yeah, well, it's true, mine, folks. I'm going to bring Lucia on and we'll carry on that conversation. It's better off not with just doing comments. Evening, Lucia.
Hi, Phil. How are you doing?
I'm all right, Diane. It was a busy week last week, obviously. I don't know how many lives I did. Close to double figures, I think.
You were everywhere last week, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
I was. Can I just say I was laughing because you call them memes.
Yeah, memes. The thing is, I've always called them memes, even though there is memes. But that's me. That's
your thing. And Zoe calls them memes.
Memes. Yeah, if you could all please share, folks. Let's get down to business, because it has been a long week. First of all, we'll Let me have a look. See if I got the banner. Here we go. So this is what we're going to be doing, what you're going to be doing on Friday. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Normally, we have a demonstration the third Saturday of every month, and we've been doing that for the last, I think, 4 months, 4 or 5 months. But this month, we've got to do it on the Friday because we found out, I don't know who found it out actually, but the trains are not running on the 20th. They're not running on the 18th or the 20th. So we thought, we're better off bringing it to Friday instead, because a lot of people that do come, they tend to rely on the trains. Plus, normally where we have it outside the Senedd, we are having it outside Cardiff Central Station this time. And
BBC.
if the trains are shut, then we're not going to get the passerby. So we thought it was sensible to move it to the Friday. So I'm really hoping that a lot of you can join us. It's going to be. You've been there before, haven't you, Phil? We do a couple of speeches, and then it's about you can ask us questions and just make some noise and support us, because that's the only way we're going to get everybody to know about it. There's only so much we can do on social media, but when we actually get speaking to people face to face, it's a lot more. It's just a lot better, isn't it?
Yeah, you get a lot more response if you're talking to them face to face. That's what I find. Then you can explain to most people by giving them a leaflet, and it's self-explanatory on there. And plus, if you get any people who turn around and say, "No, that's not happening," and then you can actually tell them about the court case.
Yeah.
So it's outside Cardiff Central train station. That's Friday. Sorry, there's me getting it wrong already. Yeah, because the train strikes are 18th and the 20th, isn't it? So it's at 1:30. Join us for the demonstration. It's a graphic lesson. Will we have graphic lesson? Will we have graphic content said on the day or not?
Well, we're not actually going to speak about too much. We're not going to speak about the graphic content because obviously we're in a public place and there's going to be young ears within earshot. So we're not going to be talking about it. However, we do have in a folder we have got a lot of content on there, which we've got. Most of it we've taken directly from the Scottish website, where they've already got their lesson plans up there. So everybody, obviously not everyone, every parent or every adult is welcome to come and have a look at the folder to see what see what our Welsh children are going to be receiving. So that's as far as it'll go. When we talk about the graphic lessons, this is normally when we do our presentation. So it's normally our indoor events, our evening events, where it's an adult only presentation. So if you did want to come to one of those, we have quite a lot of these presentations now. They seem to be booked up all over the place. So we've got a couple of them coming up as well. 24th of August, we have one in the Gospel Church in Ely. That's 7 o'clock start, so it's 7 till 9 the presentation. And then we have got the Neon then on the 5th of September, so that's a Monday evening, and that's 7 till 9 again. So if you want to really learn about the lesson content to be expected, the history to this education as well, if you really want to arm yourself with information, then please do come along to one of these these presentations. However, the demo is going to be fantastic as well. We have got a gentleman who's coming down to talk about the school bill, and this is where the home educators are going to be affected. Now, I don't know a lot about that, to be honest. Rachel from PCP Wales, she knows a little bit more about that, and obviously this guy who's coming down will be able to give us information regarding this as well, because a lot of people who homeschool, they think nothing to do with us, it's fine, my child's out of school. And to have that attitude is wrong for two reasons. This school bill, that's coming through. The government and the system is going to do their utmost to get to everybody. And obviously a lot of people have taken their kids out of school because of this RSC as well. So there is going to be that issue. And also B, even if you are homeschooling your children, are you happy with your children growing up in a generation where the whole people, everybody that's gone to school have been learning and indoctrinated with this so-called education? So you've got to ask yourself that as well. So whether you're homeschooling or you've got your kids in school, it's still important to support our campaign.
Yeah, regarding the school bill, I have been I did watch it go through Parliament. That's the only time I watch TV, really, depending on what bill's going through and stuff like that, because they like to sneak things under the carpet. And as far as that school bill is concerned, it basically, as a parent and you're homeschooling, they can actually check if you're going through the curriculum regarding sex education, because it's compulsory. And they're going to make it compulsory in the home ed homeschooling department. So it's something we've got to keep an eye on, because they are going to push it after they come back in September, and it will end up in the House of Lords. There are a few bits they want to try and change. Labour want to change and stuff like that, but they are trying to push it through, because they want this agenda going through with the sex education. It don't matter what, and it don't matter what parents' rights are involved. They do want to put it in there. It's
an absolute, this type of, we keep calling it an education, but it's not an education. It's an indoctrination. Now this stuff they want to teach our children. Can you imagine? Because there's people who are supporting this, and children must know. They must know about LGBTQ issues. They must know about sexual information in order to make sure that they can protect themselves. I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my life. Kids have to protect themselves against sexual predators. No, adults need to protect kids against sexual predators. Now, the massive issue we've got with giving children all this information, what do you expect them to do with it? Children are so curious. I've had 2 children myself. You tell them something, especially my one child, she will keep asking and asking and asking. So, it's so wrong on every single level. And I just wish everybody could see the dangers.
Yeah. Well, what do you think the teachers' reaction is going to be to this in September? When I know it's only getting pushed through to half the schools, right? Because obviously that's what they have told us. But I don't believe a word that they actually say, to me. As far as I'm concerned, these teachers have not had the training on sex education, and it'll be in all lessons. And how can you expect them to teach something they've never ever researched or even got a degree in?
Well, this is it, and it's not half the schools that it's not just half; it's half the secondary schools. So the way it works is it's mandatory for all primary schools and year 7s. So what they're saying is half the secondary schools were not ready to implement it, and they blamed the whole COVID pandemic, etc., etc. So they were saying, only half the secondary schools were. But as far as I'm aware, it's all the primary schools that will be implemented. They're due to have it implemented anyway. And as you were saying, training, I do know teachers who are in schools, and it doesn't sound like they've had very minimal training on this.
Do you know what? I'm going to play a little video for a minute, right? And this is a teacher's response that I had last week. Okay, I'll see if I can find it now. I know I got it here because I can remember putting it on this afternoon. So I didn't get the teacher's face. Let's have a look. Right, I'll play this.
It's okay to
It's not-
normalise it because
it's
there are
not.
people like me that have gone through a hard time.
It's not the 2 and 3 year olds. Do you know what's coming into our schools from September? 5-year-olds will be able to choose their gender. Now, most 5-year-olds
It's life,
get
modern
most
life, mate. I'm a
most
teacher.
5-year-olds.
I'm a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Exactly.
you're the one who's going to be teaching it.
Yeah,
So
I
if you
will be. I will be.
if
I
you
will
see
be
this,
teaching
folks,
them it is okay to be gay.
if you see this, folks, not at 5 years of age,
Please don't film me.
not 5 years of age. There you go, folks.
If you are filming this, I want that removed.
No, sorry, it's a public place. It's a public place.
Who does this guy work for? Because
I'm an
teacher,
independent
I do not
journalist.
want-
Independent journalist.
Right, well, I think you really
There you
need to
go.
reevaluate yourself.
So she thinks it's okay for 5-year-olds to be gay.
Yep. I'm sorry to say, I wish I'd kept it in the right appropriate place where I was going on about the sex education for 3-year-olds. She thought it was fine. She actually thought it was fine. And she's a teacher, and she said, because she's gay, she don't mind teaching them sex education, the sex about genders at the ages of 5. About
sick.
genders.
It's
It is sick.
No, this is sick. Now, when I was in primary school, we didn't know, we've said this before, we didn't know if our teachers were, the only reason we knew if our teachers were married is because they were Mrs. So if you knew Miss and Mrs., that's the only reason you knew whether they were married or not. We didn't know who they were married to, we didn't know if they were gay, bisexual. We didn't have a clue. We did not know about their status at all, apart from the Mrs. and Miss. So what is it with these teachers, they're woke teachers really, that thinks it's absolutely fine to speak to children about gay matters? I've got loads of friends who are gay. We've connected with people who are genuine transsexuals as well. And these people are they're disagreeing with all this agenda. They're disagreeing with this education. They are all saying, no, stop indoctrinating the children. If you speak about these matters to young children, they're all going to think that they're gay, bisexual, pansexual. Maybe I should be a boy. Maybe I should be a girl. Maybe I'm what's it called? What is it when if you're not either sex? Binary, non-binary, non-binary. They're all going to start thinking things like that. So, why would you even want to put that in their heads? It doesn't make any sense. And Phil, actually, I did speak to a teacher myself at one of the other protests. I'm not sure if I mentioned this last time I was on your live. I know I have mentioned it on a live, but I don't know if I mentioned it on yours. And it was a guy came up. It was Sandy's event, actually. You know, Sandy, when he came down from Scotland to do raising awareness about, sexual abuse in institutions. So Kim did do a talk there. And whilst I was there in the audience, I was sort of just taking a couple of photos and that. A man came up, he kind of did a beeline to me, and he started talking to me about, well, why is all this? What did he say? Because we had our posters up there, and he was like, well, why is all this a reason for stopping RSE? RSE will protect the children from it. And I was like, listen, there's plenty of reasons. For one, if a child has been abused and then they've got to sit in those lessons, that is triggering. That is not a good place to be, especially when they're talking about sex being pleasurable from the age of 9. That is not a good place to be. And they also sort of like talk about, when you want sex, your penis goes hard and all that. No, you do not say that to children at all. It's not, it's not appropriate, and it's not actually factual, especially when we're talking about young children. So that was the first thing. It can be triggering to abuse victims. And secondly, and more, not more importantly, they're all important points. Children, of course, they're going to try out things. They may want to try out things that they're learning about. So what are we doing to these kids? We want to turn them all into monsters. And then this guy was dying to get me to say something homophobic, because he kept sort of bringing up, and he actually had a phone in his hand, a bit like, I suppose, where you were filming that lady. He had a phone in his hand and he was holding it quite close to me. I said, are you filming? Are you videoing me? Not that I minded, because I'm not going to say anything homophobic, because, you know, whatever I say, I'm only speaking for the safety of children, that's all. Mm. And he says, no, and he sort of like pulled back. So I think he was trying to trip me up. And then when I come back home, I realized, hang on, that guy looks a little bit familiar. And it was someone who had been commenting on our Instagram page. And he was trying to say that our views was, what's the word? Harmful to the trans community. What about the gay kids? What about the trans kids? And he was bringing all that up in the post, and I realized it was that guy. But he claimed to be a teacher. Now, when we were having this conversation anyway, back and forth, we weren't really getting anywhere. So I asked him, do you believe that children are sexual from birth? And he paused, and then he went, well,
I have to pause about that.
If you look at Freud's definition, then yes, they are. And I was like, do you think that teachers should be teaching this to children then? Not the younger children, but from 15 onwards, they can learn about Freud's, Freud's definitions, etc. Now, if anybody knows about Sigmund Freud, his views are disgusting. You know, we're talking about any kind of sex, incest, the lot. And he actually said he was an RSE teacher in charge of RSE in England. I think I forgot to say that. So if that was the case, and he was believing that, you know, this is one of the theories and it's an absolute, it's a legitimate theory, then that is really worrying. Really worrying.
The thing is, he's pushing his ideologies, what he thinks, onto other people. Because I saw a comment on somebody's post, and it was about these books being sold. And there was a teacher who turned around in the comments and said, I'm buying one of these books to read to my reception class. Reception is nursery, isn't it?
Reception is the one above nursery. So it's the very first year of school. So they're going to be about 4 coming on to 5 in reception.
And that's the books that ADHD has done.
Wow.
So let's get this straight, right? A receptionist teacher is now teaching kids what she wants to teach kids. It's not the books which the government have said to read to children. Even though the books that the government have said are bang out of order, this teacher is going to take it upon herself to read these books.
Wow.
I saw it on a post.
This is the thing we're having to deal with, because I know in the curriculum they were trying, teachers have always said they felt very constrained by the curriculum. And I think they are sort of like bringing this thing in where teachers can have a little bit of creativity, if you like. And if they're decent teachers, it wouldn't be so bad, but we don't know every teacher. You don't know the person that's teaching your children all day.
Well, you just saw that video, Lucia, of that teacher speaking. And this is the problem we've got. We've got teachers who are gay. It doesn't matter if they're gay, straight or whatever, but they shouldn't push their views onto young children.
No.
Full stop. Full stop. You have got some good teachers who aren't going to be liking this at all. And we already know that. And some teachers are coming forward, aren't they? Do you mean? They're not happy with it.
They're not at all. And like following on from there are a lot of gay people who are really against this. Like they're speaking out. There's a platform actually called Gays Against Groomers. I'm following them on Instagram. They've got banned. Their Twitter. What's that?
Hang on a sec. I'll see if I can find it now.
But their platform got taken down with Twitter because they are vigorously speaking out against this. What have we got there? Gays Against Groomers, Not Your Shield. Where did you find that to? Were they at one of the protests? Were they some of the?
He was actually a nice chap, and he was actually in Cardiff on Friday. And I had a good conversation. Yeah, I had a good conversation because he supports you a lot. 100%. He's been at your demos and that. I said, just pity, just a shame I'm not gay, because we could go in front of them. We could have a little necking session against the opposition. I said, because I'm straight, you should have brought your boyfriend down. You know what I mean? Said that would have shut up their opposition on Friday.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, Phil, people who are gay are still being called transphobic because they're disagreeing with this agenda. People who are trans are being called transphobic because they are speaking out and saying, don't push this on your children.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. People have just gone insane, you know?
By the way, folks, if you jump onto the YouTube channel, Real News Live News, I will see all your comments, or jump on the Real News Live News group, because I'll be able to see your comments on there. I didn't put it on the page this week, but I put it on the group, so I will be able to see your comments, I think. Or you can try to put it on the page if you want. I have shared it there, but you can try that. Yeah, it was... what about Kat? 36 hours a podcast. A thon.
Incredible.
Over 5,000 quid. 5,000 quid.
Oh, I can't thank those. It was Catherine Watkins. A lot of you will, everyone, a lot of you that know us, PCP Wales, will know Catherine Watkins, and Lou Collins of Liberty Tactics. Now, these two ladies, together with a gentleman called Jason, who I've never met before. In fact, it was the first time I met Lou Collins. She's going to be coming down on Friday, which is lovely. But it's the first time I've met her online. There was a gentleman called Jason as well. And then there was Rick, who was working behind the scenes. Yeah, they did. I think it was 30 hours in the end, I think. But by the by, they stayed up all night. It was entertaining. It was brilliant. Did you watch it at all, Phil?
Yeah, I saw quite a bit of it. Well, I saw a bit of it in the start. I didn't see any in the night when I went to sleep, obviously.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of it on Sunday, not much because I had to be in Carmarthen. But I did see quite a bit of it.
Brilliant. Did you catch me on there, Phil? The most important part, of course. I'm joking.
I caught Kim on. I caught once and she was kicked off, I think.
Yeah,
and then I caught her the second time.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of problems, mind. Otherwise, they were raised a hell of a lot more than that because what did they have? Their website was taken down. Facebook, they couldn't do it on Facebook. If I'd known, I would have gone up and covered it. I would have done just left my camera there and just carried on like. Right.
Oh, Phil, I do know that. That as well, that you would have done that.
Yeah, but if I'd known that they were going to have problems, but you can't foresee the future, so
exactly.
There's no point saying it now. But I would have if I'd known they were having that many problems.
I know. I do feel. I really feel for that. They were really gutted. I think they didn't even. I think they were meant to start at 12 and they couldn't get on until it was nearly 2, I think, by the time. So, you know, even though they were broadcasting for all that time, that was a couple of hours before struggling to get on. So it was a shame for them. However, they did raise, it was approximately £5,000 for the fund, which is absolutely amazing. And also, more importantly, they raised awareness on Liberty Tactics platform. So to every one of Lou and Catherine's audience, you know, they were really getting us out to them. And when me and Kim did a live yesterday, because we do our weekly lives every Tuesday. So when we did our lives yesterday, there were people on our YouTube channel saying that they had, we've heard about you through Liberty Tactics. And there were quite a few people. So, you know, she's, they've done they've done us a great service, and we know we can't thank them enough. And as I said, if you get the chance to watch any, because what they're going to do now, I think they're splitting it all down into guests, because they had some great guests, really good guests, some good tunes as well playing. It was a real entertaining 30 hours, and I can't believe they pulled it off for that long, to be honest. That's hard.
Yeah. I'm going to bring Sasha on. She's going to jump on as well for the minute.
Okay, cool.
She disappeared. Even Sasha. I could see her in the green room waiting, like to me, and I thought, it doesn't matter anyway.
Is that just a chair?
Yeah. Evening, Sasha.
Hello.
Evening. We're talking about Friday. there's a demonstration outside the train station on Friday at 1:30. I can hear that. And it's going to be right outside the BBC. Do you know if any of your lot are going to be going as well, Sash?
Yes, there will be a few of us there. Yes, there will be, because I know it was changed, wasn't it? It was originally it was on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been sharing the new day.
Rail strikes. There is rail strikes on Saturday, which is why we've moved it to the Friday, because we can expect a lot more people to come then.
Yeah.
So where are you coming from then?
Oh, we're all local.
Oh right, okay. I didn't get that Welsh accent coming through then.
Oh well, no, I'm Irish originally, but I've been living in Cardiff for Cardiff for years.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. I love Ireland.
Yeah, I can hear a little bit of an echo as well.
Do you want me to put earphones in, Phil?
Pardon?
Do you want me to put earphones in? Is there like a interference?
Yeah, a little bit of an echo. If you want to give that a try, that'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucia. Is it because I got 3 on? Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, no echo now. I might have a problem. Yeah, I might have a problem this week because I'm changing over my network provider on Friday. So my old one might want to kick me off tonight. You never know, like doing. They haven't been really good for me. Look, I had a box with TalkTalk, and I've had it 3 years, and I get problems at jumping in and jumping out. And when you got on a box, when you reset it, it goes to orange flashing light. Now, then it goes to white or blue to say it's okay. But this box, it doesn't do anything. It's just blank. And I've told them twice already by email, and once I've rung them. So there's 3 times I've told them this box is faulty because there's obviously something wrong with it. So now I'm going to go with now.
Now.
Yeah, Now TV.
Oh right, okay, yeah, I know them.
Yeah.
I've always been
without
with
the TV. Yeah, without the TV.
I've always been with 3, and I'm just sticking with them because it's just, I don't know, it's just easier. I haven't had any problems, so
yeah,
I'm just going with that.
Yeah, so it's 1:30 on Friday outside the train station, which is opposite the BBC. So that's going to be quite handy, folks. I'm sure we get our voices heard outside that BBC. And I've heard there could be actually something going up on the wall.
Something going up on the wall? Oh, do you mean on the BBC?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not actually, do you know what? That is going to be postponed because it's daylight and because there's children. We're not going to do that then. That's going to be more of a sort of a night, an evening sort of nighttime thing where there's no children around, because we've got like a generator to sorting that out to put it up against the wall. But we're not going to do that just because the content is, it's just not suitable for children. And these demos as well. Is it Natasha? Sorry, your name? Sasha.
Yeah.
Yes, Sasha, apologies. Sorry, I thought you said Natasha when you came on. So I don't know if you've been to any of our demos before. Obviously, we are going to do a couple of speeches, but we don't like to go into too much depth because there's children about, within earshot. So there is going to be, just a couple of speeches, and we have got the lesson content at hand if anyone wants to see. Obviously, it's very difficult to get Welsh lesson content because they're not publishing anything as yet. But we know what's coming in because the Scottish curriculum has got it there proudly on their website. And we know for definite that we will be receiving the same thing as Scotland. If not immediately, it will filter through eventually. Yeah. Have you been aware of any of the stuff that's been going on in Scotland and, the schools in England?
Yeah, we're all very aware in my group. We have been to some of the demos and we've handed out some leaflets, and we did do an outreach event actually in Queen Street a few weeks ago. It was kind of we were doing the magnet challenge. I don't know if you've heard about that.
No.
I won't go into it too much. It was just to do with the GBs, and we can with the the jabs.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't know if I was allowed to say it. So we were doing that, and then we handed out some leaflets about the RSE as well, or tried to. I did find, as I'm sure you know, a lot of resistance from parents. Many didn't even know about it. Some didn't want to know about it. So yeah, we've been following that. Obviously, I don't know as much as you do, but we're very much aware of what's coming in, and it's absolutely horrendous.
It is. And I thank you, Sasha, because the problems we're having is some people don't even want to look, or
Yes.
they'll have a look at the Welsh curriculum, and because there's anything to and toward when you look at the curriculum, they're like, no, it looks fine. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They won't
Yeah.
look deeper into it. So I do
Yeah.
thank you and your group for, taking time out to, take
you're
note.
welcome. The thing is, this is a fight for all of us, isn't it? It affects all of us. Well, all of our children, grandchildren. So, it's brilliant the work you're doing. So we're 100% behind you.
Yeah, the group was giving out leaflets on Friday this year out in Cardiff as well.
Yes, we did that as well at the library on Friday. We combined it. We had like a little stall, if you like to call it, of leaflets set up outside the library. We were obviously giving out leaflets about the drag queen, and we had some of the RSE ones as well. So we were doing a bit of outreach because I don't know if you know the library in town, but there's a lot of foot traffic there. It was very, very busy, loads of people going by. So we did get some of that in there as well.
Excellent. Oh, that's
I
great.
was talking to a young lad. He was all masked up, all black masked up. But he was masked up for a reason, because in case people on the other side of the protest knew who he was. And he was actually a good lad. But his mother was a teacher, and he had tried to explain the RSE, because he does follow us. And he tried to tell his mother about the RSE, which is coming into schools. She said, no, it's not. It's nothing like that. But he was very, very clued up.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the most clued up youngsters I've ever met, But unbelievable, really.
It is, for her son to have to be telling her, and she still doesn't believe it. And this is the thing, a lot of teachers, there are the teachers who agree with it, and we're saying about the woke teachers, but a lot of these teachers are just being drip fed information. So, and the other thing, we always say this in our lives, there is a court case pending. People are becoming aware of our campaign. So when they do bring this in, they're not going to bring it in all, and they wouldn't bring it in all guns blazing anyway. They're going to drip feed it in, because that's how grooming works.
Yes, it's boiling the frog, isn't it? It's like everything the government has done over the last few years. Drip, drip, drip.
Yeah.
This court case, it's you're looking around about end of September, October, I believe, is it? You're hoping it's going to be.
In fact, the Welsh Government are postponing it till November time. So we are really upset about that. But we are having communications with it. I'm not going to say too much. Our legal team are onto it, so I can't say anything much now. But that is what the government are saying. They got I don't know, coming up with all sorts of excuses. They haven't got anyone available till then. So we are dealing with stuff, and you'll know a little bit more in the next couple of days. But at the minute, that is the state of play. Obviously, we were delighted when we received the judicial review. I don't know much about law myself, but apparently this judicial review is very rare. And our legal team were actually expecting it to be refused, and for us to have to do an oral hearing, and sort of like go through some kind of process that way. So the fact that it got granted straight away, we're absolutely delighted that happened. But there's teachers who are still telling the parents that this court case isn't going ahead, and it's all misinformation. It's incredible, the lies that he's spouted.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on these drag queens? I know I'm changing the subject because I'm trying to keep this under an hour. So what are your thoughts on this drag queen? I'll go to Lucia first.
I just can't believe that parents are taking their children to see these drag artists. Like they're saying, you know, they're making the excuse, oh, it's like a dame from a pantomime. It's like, no, hang on a minute. These, like a drag queen, Phil, you've probably seen them in the past. I've seen them in the past. Drag queens are adult entertainers. They're a little bit crude, not everybody's cup of tea, but they're, you know, it's about sort of, it's entertainment, but it's dirty, isn't it? You know, it's not for kids. It should be nowhere near children. And what is really disturbing is this particular, well, a lot of the drag queens who have been reading these stories, and I know this particular drag queen, wow, his, I don't know whether to say his or her, but the person's social media channel is completely, it just shows that this person has got paedophilia tendencies.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you would want to expose your child to a drag queen reading a story anyway. That's insane to me. But the fact that this person has got all this stuff on his social media, and there's overwhelming evidence that, you know, he should be nowhere near children. In fact, he should be in jail after some of the posts that have been seen. I completely disagree with it. And I'll just add in, it's our taxpayers' money paying for it as well, isn't it?
Exactly. And that's what I was making people aware of on Friday, passers-by. You know, I was saying, do you realise what's going on in there is being funded by you as a taxpayer? Most of them didn't even know it was happening.
It was kept all underground. This is a problem, right? Because he'd had protests at different demos. He was trying to change them around, and he kept them all underground. It's nothing new about the stories, the drag queen story times, because this is what they normally do. They normally, when it's school time, send out emails to the parents. That's what they normally do. And that's how people like myself and Sasha find out. It's because parents are obviously uproar, and they let people know. It's the same as what he's been doing, but there is some good points with all these demonstrations. No, let's go back to what he's actually said on his social media site and make sure that everybody understands what we mean by his tendencies towards children are. Okay, first of all, I haven't got the picture here. I could put it up. A picture of a 60-year-old man or 50-year-old man on one picture and an 11, 12-year-old on the other. And he says, oh, both 26 in my eyes. You know, same age as him. He's also said love has no age.
That popular slogan.
Yeah. And if you look it up, you Google it, you'll find the meaning of it. But
it's a known paedophile term.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Of course,
I have a safeguard.
It justifies. It in their eyes, it's them trying to justify their nonsense, basically. It's okay because it's love, so it has no age. I mean, they were actually chanting that. I don't know if you remember, Phil, at Penarth last week. You know, the little rainbow gang that were there. They were actually chanting "Love has no age," and again, that's going to just filter down into something that's normal, or that's what they're trying to make it anyway. That it was get into people's subconscious. Love has no age, and drip feed it to the kids.
Yeah, it was pretty sick, like. But what we've got to realise, Verinder Trust back in 2020. This is fact, folks. So you can look it up. 2020, Verinder Trust cancelled his event with the NHS due to the fact of his social media, and all the things we've mentioned was actually on his social media at the time, which he's currently taken down. So that was in 2020 that there was a safeguarding issue. Nothing has actually changed because he's still doing the same job. He's still an adult entertainer at night, and he should not be teaching kids.
Absolutely.
I don't. And this rubbish about, oh, you want to ban pantomimes for kids and that. No. No, it's not the same.
No,
this is an adult entertainer, 18 years of age. How would these parents view a stripper going to read to their children?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
And don't forget as well, the internet is very accessible to even the younger children. They're all on the internet now. So if they go, oh, they went and seen his story hour, they'll come back, they might look him up. And then,
Exactly.
if he's
Yeah.
got some dodgy stuff there, they're going to be exposed to all sorts. So it's not the same as a pantomime, unless
No.
you've got, and bad people, pedos, etc., in the pantomime, then it's not the same as a pantomime. So no,
A pantomime is on a stage in front of them.
Yes.
The kids
Yeah.
don't go up on the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another point. They don't go up on the stage. I mean,
He's up close. He's up very close to those children. And I don't know if you saw it, but from yesterday, I think it was one of the library protests yesterday. He's actually, there's a little girl is hugged right into him, and her head is beside his crotch.
Okay.
So if he is a paedophile, then that's a dream come true, isn't it?
That's disgusting. There's also a lot of pictures of him with an outline of his genitals.
Oh yeah, he doesn't wear underwear.
Yeah.
You can clearly see it, and again, that's not appropriate. There's so much that's inappropriate about him and the whole agenda, and he encourages the children to keep secrets as well. In one of his story times that I listened to, he said several times, but shh, don't tell anyone. And he, in a very exaggerated voice, shh, don't tell anyone. And again, that's what groomers do as well. So the child won't tell anyone what they're doing to them. And it's getting that into children's minds that if somebody then was to molest them, they would sort of remember, oh, but that funny man in the library, he said don't tell anyone. It's getting them used to keeping secrets. It's all blatant grooming tactics, and I don't know how these parents can't see it. I really don't.
You were talking about Blackpool, right? I'm gonna play a short bit of it. I'm not gonna play it all, right? Here we go.
Crossed the line. You crossed the line, Ada.
I didn't play it too much.
I've seen that.
Well done to Alison. She's the one who went in there with her husband and her kids.
Yeah.
And she did film before it as well, but all you could see was a green, because obviously they kept the camera down until they were ready.
Yeah.
But it's not the first time, is it? But you can clearly see what he's wearing. He's wearing the same stuff.
Yeah, he wears it to every single event.
Yeah, he does.
And that lady, she's so brave, and she's just a hero. And I think he said, or one of the reports said, that she used her child as a Trojan horse to get in there. In my eyes, that child, she's actually a good parent, and her child is going to be safe. Whereas the other parents were actually taking their children into the library to listen and sit with that man. They're the bad parents, and they're trying to turn it around on her for using her child basically to get into the library. But her child is safe because the child's mum is awake, and she's the one that's actually trying to safeguard the children.
Didn't the Trojan horse actually win the fight?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure they did. They sneaked them in through a wooden horse, and that's how they took down that.
Actually, you're right. Yeah.
Walls. Was it the walls of Jericho or something like that?
I think so. Yeah.
I can't remember my history that much, but that's.
Yeah. No. Now that you've said it, I think yes, you're right. So the end justifies the means, doesn't it?
So did she get caught while she was in there filming, or was it afterwards when they see video?
Well, she went right up to him and confronted him.
Yeah, confronted him.
And then the library staff came and dragged her out basically, and all the parents were trying to then just brush off what was happening, and they all started singing "Wheels on the Bus."
Yeah.
And then she was just hauled out basically, but she got the job done. She got in and she confronted him, because I wanted to see him, but he's, as you probably know, he's been sneaked in the back door, he's been sneaked in the side door protected by cops, so we haven't actually been able to see him.
Well, I confronted him in Newtown. I tried to get up. I mean, he wouldn't speak. I mean, he was coming. I knew which door he was coming out of. It was pretty obvious. It was somebody around the back. I was looking up the door, making sure it was clear, and there was only me there. All the rest around the front, so I had to shout when he went to the car. Like, but yeah, I did see him, but he's not going to say nothing. Base Welshman, he actually got him in Sarn going in, but he won't say nothing. He will not say nothing to you.
No.
It's all this on social media, but he won't say anything. He won't make a statement to the protesters at all. He'll just carry on doing what he's doing.
Well, no, because he knows what he's doing, and he knows that you guys
are on
know
him.
what he's doing. So he's only interested in performing in front of people who were, you know, completely groomed by this whole agenda. It's I still can't believe all these parents are taking their kids to this show. It's unbelievable. It's really upsetting, you know.
It is. It is.
All week, I said on my film, I will not film children going in there because it's not their fault. It's a parent's fault for taking them in. And I didn't all week, right? And then this Lisa Power on Twitter said, oh, he was filming kids, I think, going in, right? Because she was obviously filming us. She was actually breaking the law because she was filming in a public place, but no, I'm not going to go into that, in a public building.
Yeah.
But she had the audacity to say that I was filming kids, right, when I wasn't. I kept my camera always low when it came to kids going in, and but they got audacity of it. She's putting pictures on her profile on Twitter, and so's Eda H on his thing with pictures of him and kids and their parents.
Yeah.
So they're okay to put that on there, but now they're saying
it's fine now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do I?
That's insane. And have you actually seen, because the first time I heard about him, I went onto YouTube. I think someone had shared a video in one of our groups, and I can't, but he's scary. The way he's told, going into the camera, I was like, oh my God, I'd be terrified as a child listening to that.
I know. You know, even if there wasn't a sick agenda behind it, I wouldn't take my child to have him read to it anyway. I mean, librarians are in the library for that purpose. They can read to children. Why does a drag queen need to be there?
Yeah, I know, exactly. And they're always made to look, you know, colourful, fun. You know, well, we know it's all part of this grooming process now. And then the kids are going to turn around and go, oh, I want to be, you know, or maybe I want to be as a girl, you know.
There's one. I saw a little storybook, and it was aimed at very young children because it was one of those very small, square hardback books with the really thick pages. It was aimed at quite young children, and it was called, I think, When You Know You're a Drag Queen. So again, they're pushing like a child doesn't even need to know what a drag queen is. They have no business. They don't need to know about drag queens until they're old enough to find out themselves. And they're just, it's just hard to believe that the parents are just going along with this and that they would actually read those kind of books to their children.
I know, it's shocking. And I actually follow a drag queen who is against this agenda, completely against this. He's called Lady Maga. He's from America. And he the first time I seen him, I was just like, wow, what an amazing, and he was dressed as the woman and he was talking to this other woman. And he said, if I'm ever to see if children see me dressed up like this, they happen to see me, I just say, you know, like when you dress up as Spider-Man or if you dress up on Halloween, then that's all I'm doing. I'm just dressing up. And that's what he says. He doesn't explain about I'm a drag queen, you know, I do this, I do that. No, he just says, I'm just dressing up, I'm just being silly.
Yeah,
that's how he presents himself to children. And because I know he went to the, you know, Pride Month, there was all those events going all around the world. And he was actually quite upset by some of the things that he was seeing in these festivals. And this 13-year-old girl actually came up to him saying, oh, I love you, you're so beautiful. And she said that she was pansexual, and he was actually really upset by that because he thought, why are children even out these
Yeah.
ideologies, you know?
I know, it's just forced on them, isn't it? And that's what we're so against. But we were just painted as homophobes, bigots, and obviously we know we're none of those.
Well,
But it. Sorry,
yeah,
Joe.
carry on,
No, I was
Sarge.
also going to just say, I mentioned to James earlier, this you only see these things now as everything is coming out, but it's obvious now. I don't know if you've ever seen on the TV the RuPaul Drag Race.
Yeah.
It's quite a popular show. I don't watch it myself, but I've heard friends talking about it. That's been on air now for a few years, I'd say. And again, that's putting drag queens into the sort of public domain. Kids will be watching it, obviously, and it's normalizing drag queens, that they're just an everyday, they're part of society, which is what somebody actually said to me at the Barry Library. Somebody on the opposite side basically saying, what's your problem? Drag queens are part of society. Well, I wouldn't exactly call them part of society. They're part of adult entertainment, which is different,
Yeah.
It's the same as saying, well, strippers are part of society. No, it's a job, it's an occupation, a profession, whatever you want to call it. It's not actually part of society. They don't go walking down the street doing their stripping, do they? Yeah. Or going into libraries, and therefore drag queens are no different.
I totally agree. And you'd be devastated, as you said before, if a stripper came to entertain your child. You would, you wouldn't have it.
No.
Quite rightly so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's the same as a lap dancer, right? A stripper would have to strip to offend, but a lap dancer would be. Can you imagine a lap dancer teaching reading to kids?
Yeah.
Doing his act while he's reading kids. So that's what a drag queen is doing their act, reading to kids.
Yeah,
so
they're just doing their act. To children instead of adults, and people will say, well, no, it's just a story, but where does it end? I mean, from what I can tell, this is just a start. They're going to make this drag queen story hour, I feel, a regular feature in libraries and probably schools. I think they're going to ramp it up. It could be a weekly thing, it could be a monthly thing. It's not going to just end here.
This is where, when I first started looking into this a couple of years ago, it was, I can't remember where, but this was one of our concerns, that they were actually bringing this drag queen story hour into schools. I wasn't actually aware they were going to do it as an extracurricular thing. But that was what I thought at first, they were going to bring them straight into schools. But you're right, that's going to be the next step now if we don't do anything about it. Because if people are accepting that, then they'll accept that they're coming into the schools as well.
Yeah.
The good news about this, mind, right, with all these protests which are going on outside them every single day, right? Let's put this one up. There you go. Rochdale cancelled.
Yeah.
There you go. Manchester cancelled.
Yeah.
You don't want to know why they haven't even bothered to even put down Birmingham or anything. It's Birmingham, Manchester. They've got a high population of, how can I put it, different colours, and they will kick off.
Yes,
this is the reason why they haven't gone to blinking Birmingham.
They're not woke.
They haven't gone to Manchester, and they ain't going to go to Rochdale.
No. Or Liverpool, I imagine.
Because they know parents will kick off.
Yeah, they've got high morals, They've got standards, a lot of these parents, and they're like, no, not having that here.
Well, let's not beat about the bush. The Muslim people will not put up with this shit. They will not put up with it in no library, and they'll certainly be outside those libraries complaining and everything else. And if they start to get emails during school time to say that there's one going on in the school, they will kick off. This is why it won't happen in these parts of the country. No. I don't think I've seen it in London even.
No, I haven't heard of any. It's just sort of surrounding London, isn't it? But not actually in London. But yeah, you can see all the areas you've mentioned, mainly the northern cities and towns. They know they won't get away with it. Whereas the more woke places,
I'm not being racist. It's a white area where they're prominently white people. This is what he's targeting. Yeah, because he's the one who's doing the targeting.
Yeah, so arrest, white people more. I don't know, we've got to be more accepting of everything. I don't know. Is that the reason? Obviously a lot of Muslims, they take their religious beliefs really seriously. They would not entertain this. by any means. You know, they're like, no way, Jose. And what is wrong with the British population? What is wrong with them? Why are they allowing this to happen?
There should have been hundreds of parents outside these
Absolutely,
libraries.
they should. There
should
was
be
we had a fair crowd, didn't we, Phil? But there should have been a lot more, considering it was Cardiff city centre. It's also the summer holidays, so you would have imagined a lot of parents, or quite a lot, would have maybe been off anyway. And there was a lot of people going by, but the numbers were not as they should have been. And I don't even have any kids of school age now. And somebody said to me, well, it's none of your business if there's children going in there, but it actually is my business, because the welfare of children is the responsibility of everybody, whether they're yours or not. And if their parents are not standing up for them, which they're not, by taking them to that library, that's putting your child in harm's way, then us as outsiders, if you like, have to do it for them.
Absolutely. And the other thing I touched on before as well, if your child is growing up in a generation where they're actually thinking that this is normal and this is fine, then it's actually, going to destroy our children's future as well, because they're going to be surrounded by people.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are just becoming more and more woke all the time, and it's evident that there's too many woke people even in our generation. And it's shocking, and obviously the younger we're going, the more they're getting,
Oh yeah, they're going for the young people, and then there's also a lot of very cowardly people who maybe think what we say, but they don't want to speak out, for fear of being called a homophobe, because this is quite a contentious subject, isn't it? Because anything to do with the LGBT agenda, if you speak out about that, it's possible you could be labeled as a homophobe or a transphobe. I don't care what people call me, because I know I'm neither of those, but there's a lot of people who are quite weak and they don't want to speak out because, oh no, well, they might think I'm a homophobe. And they just go along with it. It's the kind of groupthink mentality. Well, everybody else is sort of going along with this kind of agenda, so I'm not going to speak up. I'm not going to say anything. And it's just it's the kind of dumbed down society that we're living in, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And they keep putting this thing out there about we've got to be accepting of everyone, and we
diversity,
slowly but surely they're bringing in like love has got no age is the first telltale sign. But we know for a fact that what's coming next, which is why we are so, no, I don't care what you call me, we are against this agenda, full stop. And if you're not, then you're actually enabling pedophilia. So 100%. I'd rather be called a bigot than a paedophile enabler.
Me too.
This is as clear cut as it is.
The BBC actually lied on the figures. They said it was 15 protesters. There was actually 40 to 50. I checked my film afterwards.
Yeah, way more than that. Yeah. That's what me and Christy actually estimated it. We were discussing it earlier, and she said roughly that figure was definitely way more than 15.
And the BBC forgets to mention, and Wales Online, it also forgets to mention, yes, we were outnumbered. The LGBT did outnumber us. But what they forgot to mention was the Socialist Party were there. They were amongst them. You had Antifa amongst them, all masked up in their black masks. They've been shouting their
insults
for calling us fascists. Yeah, this is what the Socialist Party do, because they're supporting the LGBT. This is what they do. They actually got the Antifa to turn up on mob, and they're all youngsters. You could see they're all masked up.
Yeah.
And they were there to disrupt everything. They were shouting abuse. I did hear the word Nazi was shouted. Now they should be arrested for that.
Absolutely. Phil, did somebody shout out as well? Someone was having a go at you all for protesting, and did he shout out FAGGOT? Did he shout that out?
Yeah.
I
He was walking around with Barry on my live.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed that.
I
Yeah,
could not
yeah.
believe it. He was having a go at you guys because you're protesting against the drag queen, and then he turned around and used a homophobic slur. It's like, hang on, do
Yeah.
you realise what you're having? Who you're
Sasha.
having a go?
You remember that guy with the can at the end? He was walking up the hill, and he kept.
Oh,
on
the
turning
one that
around.
kept shouting all the way up the hill.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Oh, he was such a loser. Yeah, I remember him.
yeah.
I mean, that will
Yeah.
tell you the mentality of these people. They don't even know what they're saying. They don't even know what they're arguing with us about. They just basically want an argument for this because, you know, we're standing there protesting about something that we believe in, and they haven't got the balls to actually do it or actually find out what it's about. So, all their protesters, I'm automatically going to hate them, you know. That's the kind of a mentality we have in this country as well towards protesters in general, I've found over the last couple of years. It doesn't really matter sometimes what you're protesting about. They just don't like people protesting. You just get a job is probably the thing I've heard more times than anything.
Just like what Lisa Rogers just said on a comment, we accept refugees. Now, there was a protest, wasn't there, about refugee, you know, we accept refugees, and everyone that was interviewed. So would you take in a refugee into your house? I haven't got a room. And they were all making excuses. Not one of them was going to take on a refugee. Yet they're protesting about it. And it's like, well...
Yeah, well, they were chanting, refugees welcome here.
Welcome here, yes.
Now, what are that doing? Antifa have not got a clue why they're at that protest.
No.
It was a safeguarding issue regarding a drag queen. It had nothing to do about being homophobic and LGBTQ. It was a safeguarding issue. It had nothing to do with refugees. It had nothing about fascism. I'm sick of using
trans.
Yeah, or transphobia. These words go right over my head because you hear them so much.
Yes. I mean, at one point they were chanting trans rights for kids.
Yeah.
Again, which had nothing to do with anything. And to my mind, the word trans and kids shouldn't even be in the same sentence anyway.
No, you're right.
You know, but yes, like as Phil said, they were just chanting all sorts, just anything they could think of, any old crap just to throw at us.
The thing is, you can try to have a decent conversation, a debate with them, and the problem is they can't debate. They just shout and scream.
Yeah.
It's because they can't argue. They can't argue their point because it's blur when it comes out. So the best way is to shout. And they sort of shout loud enough. I'm going to sound like I'm making sense. But, you know, when they start talking about the trans kids, it's like, if you think it's okay for your to transition your child, whether it be socially or medically, there's something wrong with you because gosh, I was a tomboy for years. You know, when I was younger, and then when I got to about, I would say about 15, 16, I got really girly then. But up until 13, 14, I was a proper tomboy. I loved hanging out with the boys. I'd climbing trees and riding on my bike with no hands. I loved doing all that. But you know, this day and age, I'd be labelled. Oh, maybe
you'd be wheeled off, you know, to start your puberty blockers or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. This was one of the people, right, who was behind enemy lines, I like to call it, right? She just kept on interfering with people giving out leaflets. She was ripping up leaflets.
I know this one.
This is her, right?
Yeah.
Right? She thought she's clever with a mask on and everything else, right? I had to laugh because ta-da!
Unmasked.
Jimmy, you can hide, but when you want a drink, love, I got you on film.
Yeah. And the stupid thing is she was dressed like a court jester. You can't see her fully there, but she had stripy trousers as well and that long coat. She was like a court jester, and she was going up to passers-by and telling them that we were all homophobes. So can you imagine a person like that, dressed like that, approaching you in the street, telling you that these people like us who look normal are actually homophobes? I mean, would you take it seriously? It truly was quite bizarre, the state of the crowd on the other side.
She was actually ripping her leaflets up.
Yeah.
Doing. She was somebody giving out a leaflet explaining to him. She'd jump in a conversation. We ripped the leaflet out of her hand and rip it up.
Yeah. It was funny.
Well, I suppose at least she entertained you.
She did. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
It was like the circus came to town, basically. That's what it looked like. The circus came to town that day.
She's actually a trans.
Oh, yes.
She's a transgender, right? She had lots to say. I have got her unmasked as well, but I'm not going to put that one on because I didn't download it. But if you read the sign, queers bash back.
Is that that was the bloke in the skirt, wasn't it? With the mutilated legs?
I'd
that
say,
one?
I think it was a transgender.
Well, I don't know what was beneath the skirt, but it was definitely a man.
Yeah, it was a man.
And his legs were mutilated from self-harm.
Oh,
and he had really bad makeup. Like he wasn't trying to look like a drag queen. He was trying to look like a woman in makeup, but it was overdone, you know, with the blusher when like it's really exaggerated. He was definitely a man. I don't know at what stage he may have been at it.
He did have breasts as well, like doing.
So he'd had the top surgery at least then. But this is the thing as well, when these men put on the makeup to say, I'm a woman now, so I've got the makeup, it's not even, like being a woman is not about wearing makeup.
I know.
And, you know, when they do this exaggerated makeup, that's what the drag queens used to do as entertainment. You didn't actually think, oh my God, they look like a genuine woman. No. Women do not have that kind of exaggeration of makeup. And it's actually quite an insult to women to sort of say, now I look like a woman.
Yeah.
No. You look like a clown when you're wearing all this exaggerated makeup. It's not womanly, you know. So it's insults all round, really.
He was very gobby, that one. He was trying to sort of start an argument quite a lot, you know.
Yeah, Lisa just said Phil was frightened walking home alone. Well, I was a bit dodgy because Antifa only. The thing is, when you're on the Antifa watch list or Hope Not Hate, they will follow you home and do stupid things like Jimmy. They will follow you to where's a quiet place where they can jump you. It happens all the time with Antifa. This is what they like to do, is gang up on people, see, folks. So, I did have a friend. Her name was Casey. I walked over to where my car was parked. It was fine because I knew I was safe because she was actually a cage fighter.
Oh, wow.
And a very hard one.
Nice.
A good friend to have then, Phil.
Yeah. Phil's got his own personal bodyguard.
I've got my bodyguard when I'm out and about is Kim, because Kim, you probably met Kim, have you, Sasha? She's hard as nails. So.
So I've heard. I haven't met her personally, but I've heard.
Yeah, she's
very small, but she's she's mighty.
Fierce.
Mighty.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to cut you two off. Thank you both for coming on. But let's put that back up for Friday. So that's what's happening Friday outside Cardiff train station. Let me get rid of that banner. Or comment, I should say.
Yeah, get yourselves down there, ladies and gents, because it's going to be a big one.
Yeah,
we've actually got people coming from all over the UK as well. People have asked about parking. I know there is a big car park in the Cardiff train station. Probably the easiest way to get there would be by train, because it can be quite expensive as well, parking in the centre of Cardiff.
Parking in the train station will cost you £12.50 for 24 hours.
There's St David's as well and John Lewis. I don't think they're too bad.
No, there's one. It's a Euro car park, I think it is. It's just down the road. Instead of going down the main street, you carry on straight down from the bus station, straight across, straight down. There's an NCP car park down there. That'll be pretty all right. And there's a short walk up. And
was that the open one?
It's what?
Is it open? Is that the open? Like it's open air one? Or?
No, it's multi-story. It's an NCP one.
I normally park in the open one, but I'm not really sure how much that is. To be honest, I haven't been down to Cardiff for ages, so
I'm not sure either. I usually get the bus in if I'm going into protests or anything, because I'm not too far out, so it's easier than, you know, looking for parking and that.
Yeah, much easier. But yeah, just be great to have a big crowd of us down there. So if you can make it, even if you can just make it for an hour or
Yeah,
half hour,
definitely.
down.
There's a few of us going to head down, yeah, so we'll see you there,
Brilliant.
hopefully, yeah.
Brilliant. And we're going to have a load of leaflets on us as well, because we have had loads of people asking for leaflets.
Okay.
We find it quite difficult to get around to people as well, because, you know, there's not many of us in the team. We're all really busy doing our
we were
stuff.
happy to leaflet, yeah, no problem at all.
Thank you. Thank you. So if anyone wants to pick some up to deliver, you know, to deliver around their area as well, we're going to have a load of leaflets with us. So I hope to see lots of you there, and I look forward to seeing you as well, Sasha. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. It's nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you both for joining me, and I'll see you all. I'll see you tomorrow night, Lucia.
Yes, yeah, coffee hour tomorrow night if anyone's available. Farmers Arms in Nottage. We're going to be meeting at 6 o'clock, 6 till 7, coffee hour. Come over, have a chat with us, and yeah, I'll have leaflets with me then as well if anyone wants any. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a few people down there this week, Phil.
Yeah,
and
thank you for jumping on, Sasha.
No problem. I'll see you on Monday, Phil, in Somerset.
Yeah, definitely.
You still going there?
Yeah, I'm still going. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Birmingham-on-Sea, and the other one is
Glastonbury. There's actually a third one. Isn't there one in Frome as well the same day?
Yeah,
I'm not sure how.
Yeah,
I don't know distance-wise how far that is, so I don't know if we'll manage all three, but we're hoping to do the first two anyway. And that's if they don't get cancelled. I'm not sure how woke Somerset is. I'd imagine it's quite woke.
I know there's 1 or 2 people going as well, so from Bath and Bristol, so
okay, brilliant. Look forward to it then.
Better keep that one quiet, or you start changing them all around, because that's what you'll do. You'll change them all around. Thank you both for coming on. I'll see you in the week or next week.
See you all Friday. Bye.
All right.
Yes, see you Friday.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. So folks, there are a few other things I want to put up before I decide to go. Hi Fiona, hope you're doing all right. Now, the law on filming, folks. The law on filming. I actually put a little bit together of a security guard and a police officer who thought they knew the law on filming. I was at Penarth, that was for a drag queen story hour. See if I can find it now. I'll put this on. Right, there's me teaching them a lesson in law. Don't have to, and you should know that by law yourself. No. It's a public place. Yes, I am. Yeah, please. So this lady obviously does not know the law, because the law is you are allowed to film in the public place anywhere you want. By the way, can I have your badge number, please, as well? 3492. What station are you from? Penarth. You'll be under complaint shortly, because obviously you don't know the law. I can. It don't make no difference. It makes no difference. I'm in a public place. Can somebody please? I don't have to. Learn the law, please. Learn the law. I know the law. I've been to enough protests right around the country, mate. I went to 66 last year. The year before I went to 55. Year before. Well, you basically got the gist of that, folks. When the thing is, I've actually got film as well, where this woman copper who got aggressive on lots of accounts, trying to tell me the law. I filmed for the last 3 to 4 years, if not longer, folks. And I've got her trying to tell me the filming law. You're having a laugh. And this actual copper, because a young kid walked past, was behind the protesters. He was 11, right? He was 11 years of age. He was tiny, right? So what's she going to do? He swore. What did she do? She grabbed his hand like that, folks. Grabbed his hand. Now, if you know all about the 4Es, you're not meant to do that. You're meant to engage. What do you mean? These police think that they can just do anything. Next Monday, I am going into the police station with the footage, and I'm going to be giving it to them, because that police officer needs to be booted out of her job. Not only does she not know the law, but she assaulted a young child, an 11-year-old, for swearing. You know what I mean? She should never be on a force, especially when there's a kids about. That's definite. But you could see how two-sided she was, because when she was going up the when people were going up the steps, she said to enjoy the story time, but she was like this with us. Two-tier policing yet again. Let's have a look at the comments. Yeah, well done to the Voice of Wales. I did film. That was one of the 4 films I did on Wednesday. I was actually outside Newport Crown Court, where Voice of Wales were going in. And by the end of the day, they got not guilty, all because an inspector kind of lied on oath. He lied on oath. The judge actually told the inspector to go and speak to the prosecutor outside and basically change his story. He actually committed perjury, and the judge did nothing, folks. The judge did nothing because he was a chief inspector. And do you know what? A judge should never have an opinion either. When he said, I'm going to have to find you not guilty, I don't want to. What judge has a right to say something like that? And the judge turned around and said to Dan and Stan, if this charge was for a different charge, like aggravated trespass, you'd be going to prison today. Yeah. This is down to Drakeford. Drakeford picked that judge. You can guarantee it. You can't rely on the criminal justice anymore. You just can't rely on it, folks. Absolutely bonkers. As we were going on about, I will be doing my own little investigation after Sunday, because something happened on Sunday when I was in Carmarthen. Well, when I got home, folks. I will be telling you more. I'm keeping it quiet at the moment because I'm doing my own little investigation into it. And in regards hope not hate. So I don't take kindly to threats, and I won't put up with the threats. And I'm sure it's going to come back and bite you on the arse. Yeah, I guarantee they'll be watching. West Walian hope not hate, or shall I say stand up to racism. And hope not hate working together in the same. I mean, the same people. Revenge is sweet. I don't take no shit off you. Simple as that. Right then, folks. I'm going to say good night. I got loads of things to do. I haven't even finished filming, editing my stuff from last week. So let's put that right. Put Darren's theme up. This is Kath, who raised £5,000 with her 36-hour podcast-a-thon. This is her other half, folks. I tell you every week anyway. So what I'm going to say is good night, God bless. And I'll see you all next week. Well, you'll actually see me on a live Friday. Hopefully you'll see me on Monday as well. All right, good night, God bless, and catch you later. And thanks to my admin as well.
Okay, picking it up here in Wilmington, North Carolina, right at the Intercoastal. We're in one of these bands.
So that's my site, Dell, in Wilmington, North Carolina. But as he races and fights to win Friday, check out the two guys who seem to walk right by him in the background. There's no trouble at all. The video has been shared more than 1 million times on social media. Now let's go.
Cruising, losing, looking for some news and losing it's amusing. Other people choosing the topics I can view and the subjects I can chew on, the facts that I can spew and the news they put their slew on. Twisty, turny, wriggly, wormy, squealy, squirmy news. Psychopathic journalists deceiving with their views. Tightening like a tourniquet, they're aiming to confuse. Nightly negative narratives narrating you the blues. Blues and twos, new taboos, the pasta's all sold out. The hurricane's incoming and the world is dying out. Asteroids, blasteroids, steroids in their tails. The windiest ever windy gales are blowing in the dales. The Sea levels are rising at a super duper rate. 247 365, the caliphate's your fate. Tidal waves are waving like the death rays from the sun. Duck and cover, stand your ground, there's nowhere else to run.
Now, more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago I was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing, and indeed it has. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy.
Writing, fighting to publish stuff exciting. Losing it's amusing, other people choosing the posts that I can post and the documents I can read from, the info I can feed from, the facts the checkers get wrong. Sleazy, slimy, geeky, grimy, blackout, soulless tech, concluding with a clickety-click what's wrong and what's correct. Politically encouraged with protection from the law. They're getting pretty ruthless now, they panicking for sure. Scrubbing out the info like a scrubber in a tub, deleting the derogatory of the members in their club. Documents and studies disappear without a trace. Psychopathic moral, unless they're doing it in your face. The info is raising at a super duper rate. Breach community standards, your account will feel a fate.